Welcome back. You're in the Politbureau this evening. Now, South Africa's campuses do not mirror the country's national politics. Student representative councils at our nation's universities are a mishmash of green and yellow, red and blue. The University of Witwatersrand has this week changed their SRC, with the EFF Student Command there being swept out of power by the Progressive Youth Alliance after only 1 year in charge. Well, the SRC at the first university, Robert Sobukwe, Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Robert Mugabe and Nelson Mandela attended, Fort Hare, is run by the Democratic Alliance student organization. The Progressive Youth Alliance is the student body aligned to the ANC and leads campuses at Wits, the University of Limpopo, Walter Sisulu University, Venda University and UKZN. The EFF Student Command leads campuses at the University of Cape Town, University of Johannesburg, Zululand University and Free State University. While Dasso is the voice of students at the University of Pretoria, Stellenbosch University and, as mentioned, Fort Hare. Joining us to connect the dots on South Africa's campuses and how it all relates to the national picture, we're joined by Peter Ketze from the EFF Student Command and the Democratic Alliance student organization's Yusuf Kasim. We did try to invite SASCO, but they pulled out only a few minutes ago because they seem to be having another briefing later this week. All the more time for the red and the blue at South Africa's campuses. I'll start with you, Peter. Your leader, Julius Malemba, predicts the EFF is going to get the youth vote in 2019 and have grown in campuses across the country. But you lost at Wits to the PYA after only 1 year in charge. Why?
Well, how we lost at Wits is still questionable today. But even though we had congratulated the winning party and thanked the students who had voted the Students' Command there. I mean, when the results were out, there are a lot of questionable things that, we have ourselves as an organization. And one of the things that we have diagnosed there that makes us to be more suspicious is that one of our candidates, the first candidate who made in the list of 13, she's on number 5. And the next person of the EFF is on number 14, So you start asking yourself questions that how do students vote? When students, they vote, they ordinarily vote through, all the candidates of one party.
Are you stating categorically that you're questioning the outcome of the election at the SRC?
With no doubt.
Do you believe that you did enough in the single year that you were in charge to get students to vote for you?
Amongst other things, we have managed to house as many as 500 students there at that university. You'd know that in this country, the question of accommodation, it's really serious, and you have a lot of students who sleep in libraries, bathrooms, and lecture halls. So the Wits SRC, led by the Students' Command, they managed to house as many students as possible and continued to pursue the university together with the city of Johannesburg to make sure that many of our students are housed there. And even in terms of financial exclusion, we have managed to assist many students there who were faced by this, the financial exclusion.
All right, let's bring in Dasso now. Yusuf, you may be in charge at the University of Fort Hare, but you're very much a minority on the country's campuses around the country. What impact can we expect from DA students come 2019?
Well, I think that's the point, Nick. We've had a fairly moderate year. I think we could have performed a lot better. We've been involved in a re-engineering process across the organization. As you might be aware, there are 358 campuses, either agricultural college campuses, TVET University or University of Technology campuses across the country. We view these campuses as a strategic market where there are many, many voters that are amenable to our message. We've shown that. It's not just, for example, at the University of Fort Hare, where people didn't expect us to win, that we've won. We've won in TVET colleges in deep rural areas in the country. We've been re-engineering our political machinery. So that's disrupted our SRC election campaigns. I want to commend the EFF. I think they've done very, very well, particularly in unseating SASCO in KwaZulu-Natal and elsewhere. And I think we've also done fairly well in the circumstances to hold on to the gains that we've made, to make some further gains in TVET colleges, which has been a specific focus going forward.
But do you think that the DA, from a leadership on campuses point of view, can make any splash at all come 2019? Do you believe that the DA can get the youth vote and to vote for the Democrats nationally as well as in provinces?
I believe so. I think we've shown that we can go into different areas, urban or rural, different demographics, and we can appeal to students in different areas. If we get our political machinery correct in the run-up, and I mean, that's really what it's about. You find that different organizations are stronger in different areas. So, for example, DASO isn't very strong in KwaZulu-Natal. But then again, the EFF isn't very strong in the Eastern Cape, but they're very strong in other provinces. It's about getting our machinery correct so that we can take our message to as many students as possible, particularly our 2019 message, why we need to bring in a new national government and unseat the ANC, why we need to be able to bring in a different government in Gauteng, and in places like the Northern Cape.
Well, we'll talk about what you want to do in 2019 in a moment, but let's talk about issues of the day. Peter, Floyd Shivambu, your deputy president, he stands accused of pocketing billions, or beg your pardon, millions, indirectly or directly from the VBS banking scandal. The allegation is that he's indirectly pocketed money at the hands of his brother Brian. So why should young people or the country as a whole trust your party to be the ones that tackle corruption if these are the allegations that stand on your deputy president's door?
Well, I think everyone who is interested in understanding the nature and character of the revolution we are pursuing today will understand very well that these remains allegations, and they serve nothing but to try to tarnish the image of our own organization. We are going to elections next year, and in fact, we are expecting a lot of these kind of things coming on our way. I mean, we have ENCA themselves apologizing for wrongfully accusing the deputy president, and the leadership of the EFF further held a press conference to clarify the question of VBS. And from the students' perspective and the Student Command office, we are leaving everything in the hands of the leadership to deal with it. But we are zero tolerant in as far as the corruption is concerned. And should the deputy president be found guilty or whatsoever, then the organization will deal with it in that regard.
There was a fair amount of whataboutery at that press conference, though, with the EFF accepting being open to criticism and being open to investigation. Any proof of corruption will be punished. But there is a common refrain from the EFF that they're being handled unfairly by the media and by society. Why is that?
Well, it's given media is not our friends, and we can safely put it that an organization or a movement that is like EFF with policy orientation, that is like that of the EFF, you are rest assured that media will never be your friend. And the sooner we stop complaining about it, the better, because there's nothing that will change.
Yusuf, the DA talks of an inclusive society for all, but to date, the only electoral strategy you've unveiled is one on illegal immigration. So, for everyone except foreign nationals. Is that not a little bit xenophobic?
No, I don't think so at all. I think it's been misinterpreted, Nick. We've never said that we want to round up people and do something Trumpian. We don't want to build a wall and kick out illegals. We've never ever said anything like that.
But you believe South Africa should be for South Africans?
No, we don't. We believe that we need border control. We believe that any country that does not have adequate border control cannot protect its sovereignty. We believe that any country that is not able to fix its home affairs system in order to document the individuals within the country cannot control the economy and ensure that we have an economy that can speak to the different sections of our society. So our message, and by the way, it's not just about immigration. We've spoken about jobs. We've spoken about growing the economy, cutting corruption. We've spoken about ensuring that we put land in the hands of South Africans. We've spoken about safety and security. These are cornerstones of our election campaign, which I think sometimes people try to look over in favor of something a little bit more saucy. The fact of the matter is that we have reasonable, well thought out proposals that we believe is going to ensure that we can bring an inclusive society, that we can redress the legacies and the ills that are as a result of the past and the present, and ensure that we build a prosperous South Africa.
A final word from the both of you before we let you go. A quick fire answer, short and sharp if you will. If you were given the mantle to erase youth unemployment, how would you go about doing it? How would you solve youth unemployment in South Africa?
Well, first of all, you must understand that jobs do not just come from heaven and you have the jobs, which is why we provide a clear and decisive direction as the EFF to say there must be massive industrialization in this country. Of course, we must take the land without compensation. And with that being said, you are rest assured that you are going to be able to create many jobs out there. With these narratives to think that there will be investors coming to save us, it's not going to happen. So we must expropriate the land without compensation.
Your time is up now,
yes.
Mr. Ketse. Your final word there, Mr. Ketse?
Nick, over the next 10 years, there's going to be 15 million additional young people that are going to enter the job market. There's no plan by our current government or by any other organization to deal with that problem. An unskilled population is a population that is condemned to the dustbin of impoverished nations and unemployment. And we believe that we need to fix our basic education system. We need to skill our young people. We've proposed, for example, a national civilian service year where young people will have free skills, would be able to be skilled for free. We believe that we must fix the higher education system. So when we talk about free education for the poor, it's not an education where students are waiting until September, October for their allowances, that they are not set up to fail. We believe we must grow the economy, bring policy certainty, and create jobs.
It's good to hear from the both of you. Thank you for actually taking your time to come out. I do have one minor bugbear, though. I invited youth formations from all three main political parties in South Africa. They all sent men to discuss politics with a man. Isn't that a bit strange?
Well, I mean, the DASO second in charge is Sam Bainon, a very good leader. I believe that we've diversified our structures. We're the only party that has female leaders who have led the party. So,
Mr. Ketse?
Well, I mean, we are a very fair organization when it comes to the issues of gender. That is why we have a lot of presidents out there of the SRC who are females. Okay. So we're not just speaking about it, we really do it.
All right, we'll see you after the break. Tough to leave this engaging conversation, the Young Turks of student politics. When we come back, has Hlari Motsoeneng been reincarnated?